featured product live event on the 12 days of Christmas at Perfect Brewing Supply. Hashtag 12 Perfect Days. I'm here with Jason from Mickey Finn's. Today we featured the Santa's Magic recipe kit that they so graciously let us have the recipe, and it's been fantastic. We've been selling tons of them the last 2 years. Again, quick reminder, tag all your friends, share on the product below, on the Facebook post below. We'll keep track of that to see how many entries you get to win that Spike Conical Fermenter for 5-gallon batches. We'll throw that on there so you get a ooh, ah. That's what we're all playing for today. And then if you do use the hashtag 12 Perfect Days when you purchase one of these items that we've been featuring for the last couple of days, you'll get 10 extra entries into this. So I'm going to turn it over to Jason for a little bit. I may ask him a few questions and see if I can catch him off guard. But to talk a little bit about Santa's Magic, maybe how much they've sold, how popular it is, things going on. And then we're also going to talk a little bit about the wort rally. So let's pay attention, or let's stay tuned in if you guys are interested in the wort rally that we're going to be doing in January 30th. But right now, I'm going to let Jason chat a little bit about Santa's. Ready? Go.
Thanks, Andy. Santa's Magic. What is Santa's Magic? It's become an institution, a staple here at Mickey Finn's. Originally brewed about probably 23, maybe 24 years ago at this point. It's always been a Belgian strong, maybe leaning towards the darker end of a golden strong. The yeast strain has changed a number of times over the years. I actually changed it a few years ago. We're pretty happy with where it's at now. But gets released week of Thanksgiving, draft the day after Thanksgiving for the tree lighting right here in downtown Libertyville. Everybody comes over here for a couple of glasses of Santa's Magic, either before or after.
Getting the seasonal.
Yeah, get your rosy on the cheeks. At 8.2%, it'll do that too. Yep. So it's basically about 12 to 15% of our annual production that we sell in one beer from Thanksgiving to Christmas. It usually runs out shortly after Christmas, sometimes just through the new year.
So come get it quickly before it's gone.
Yeah, we've sold through about 40, no, more than that, probably 60% of our production, with the rest of it flying pretty fast, probably close to 70%. I haven't done the count, do the count at the beginning of every day. The beer itself, like I said, it's a golden strong, but it leans towards kind of the amber end of the spectrum within that style. That's due to some dark candy sugar and a little bit of caramelic malt that gets added. It gives it a nice sweetness, nice complex kind of rich, like almost dried fruit character. The Belgian yeast then gives it a nice kind of phenolic ester profile.
And we were able to pick up that same yeast from Omega. It's usually only available for pro brewers. We now have a lot of it in stock just so we can, the homebrew version of this is going to be just as true as we can get it.
Yeah, so about 2 years ago, 2-3 years ago, when I switched to strain, it was a pro brewer only strain, but now
order a lot of it.
Okay, so that's awesome. So that's an even more unique thing about getting the kit through Perfect. They were able to get that strain on a homebrew scale package. So it's an offshoot of the Duvel strain, but much more reliable of a performance. But still has a nice kind of, has a bit of a muted phenolic character. Again, with all those Belgian strains, it's kind of how you handle it. To keep the esters in check in the beginning, and then free rise through fermentation to let it dry out and really attenuate. But we're pretty happy with it since we changed over that strain. Like I said, it's been pretty much one of just about every of the Belgian strains, depending on what brewer was in place here over the years. I think it originally started as the Chimay strain, and then at one point it might have been the Rochefort, and then the Westmalle, which I really enjoy, but I kind of liked the sound of this unique to Omega.
It's an interesting
offshoot of the dual strain. Yeah,
it's got some really cool characteristics as far as drive. It's still great mouthfeel.
It's super attenuative. It'll regularly attenuate 91 to even 94%, depending on what gen we're using. It's a very high glycerol producer, so that's where you get that. You can get a beer that attenuates crazy high, but that high glycerol production leaves a really nice kind of round. That and kind of the body provided by the Caramunic and the candy sugar in there too, I think really helps round it out.
Before and want to try it again, this is gonna be able to have this yeast strain. Sorry, I'm trying to get this the image out of my face. I'm so sorry. So yeah, it's kind of cool. And then I know at one point we were looking for it because we both remember seeing it in the book, Brew Like a Monk.
Which on that specific was written in, I guess, early 2000s.
It's been a while, yeah. It's great.
So, yeah, Mickey Finn's got a little mention in there. We're that old. 27, I think, coming up on 28 years.
Illinois' oldest brew pub.
Illinois' oldest craft brewery. Goose Clybourne still holds the oldest brew pub, but we are, with Goose being bought out by AB InBev, we are now, according to the Brewers Association, the oldest craft brewery in Illinois.
Right on.
Yeah. Yep. Thank you. Thank you.
And then we're going to take a quick segue. I'm going to take us to this awesome beer that you guys, Roaring Table and Talent.
Yep. So Roaring Table, Lane and Beth, the owners of Roaring Table. Lane was our assistant brewer here for years, up until about 6 years ago. Him and his wife Beth opened Roaring Table in Lake Zurich. Great brewery, beautiful little tap room that they have. Really nice aesthetic. Highly recommend checking it out if you haven't been there. Lane brews amazing beer.
You guys did this awesome collab with Talent Coffee, which is roasted here.
Yep, local coffee roaster that you carry their
smell-o-vision. Yeah,
you carry their coffee over. It's
awesome.
Perfect brewing, but good friends of ours. We kind of wanted to get together and do a three-way collab. So we did a private cupping to select our own coffee blend, and then we built the American Stout recipe to then do the coffee infusion.
Quite delicious.
So it ends up, it's got a really rich mouthfeel, but still not cloyingly sweet. I think it finishes dry enough.
Yeah.
But the coffee adds the oil. We did a cold brew. We did about a 48-hour cold brew steep with a good amount, about 20 pounds of coffee beans. So pretty rich infusion. And we extract. I think the oils kind of add to the kind of have by no means under attenuated. You get a relatively dry finishing stout, but then the oils really kind of round out the mouthfeel. So it ends up really drinking kind of pretty rich without being cloyingly sweet.
It's fantastic, and I think you can buy it's on tap here.
On tap here in Roaring Table, as well as cans for sale here in Roaring Table exclusively. So.
Well, awesome. Thank you. Now we're going to segue just a little bit because we have two things that we do with Mickey. That's a lot of fun. We do the Santa's Magic recipe and well some of the other Red Wild the tap room. But the other kind of fun thing we do is this is the third year we've done the Wort Rally. That proceeds benefit the Northern Illinois Food Bank. It sells out every year, so we're going to try to sell it out again this year to where Jason and Mickey Finn's are gracious enough to volunteer their time to brew a batch of beer that then we pledge $55 per 5 gallons, and then you take it home and brew it. You can add a few different twists and turns to it if you like. And we have changed up, or I say we, Jason changed up the what base beer it is this year. But before I forget, let's also remember it's January 30th. You can pre-register by going to www.perfectbrewingsupply.store or perfectbrewingsupply.store, or come on in and register at the store. But I'm going to let him talk a little bit about the new grain bill.
Yeah, so
what things you can do with it.
Yeah, so the Wort Rally, again, Andy said he came, the third year in a row we've done this. Andy came to me and asked if we wanted to do this. It sounded like a cool idea. We produce 10 barrels of wort. We don't pitch any yeast. Then people are able to come and buy a 5-gallon share, bring a sanitized vessel. In a 2-hour window, we give you within a half-hour time, the alphabet, and then you pick up your beer, ferment it however you want with whatever yeast strain you want, dry hop it, adjunct it, whatever you want to do with it. And then we kind of create a little competition that we then judge, and we get a bunch of donations for prizes and stuff. And we haven't, because of COVID, we actually haven't been able to have an award ceremony yet. Everything's been virtual since we do it. Hopefully next spring we'll be able to do an actual live award ceremony with all the participants. We'll do a little pizza buffet tied with that. Try some of the samples of the different entries and stuff. Like Andy said, we donate our time in the facility here to do it. Andy donates his hard work of all the advertising and logistics and taking payment and coordinating all that end of it. And then this year we partnered with BSG. Thanks, John Carroll, our generous BSG rep, who donates all the ingredients for the wort. Yep. So this year, in the past 2 years, we used our wheat ale as a base recipe. It's pretty neutral, straightforward, American wheat. This year, we kind of wanted to switch it up. Haven't done that same thing 2 years in a row. So we talked to John, said, is there any malts that you really want to focus on? It would be really cool to use RAR's new Norse malts, which they're marketing a lot for, hoppy lagers, stuff like that. So we just kind of built a basic Pilsner recipe, which is actually very similar to the beer we're brewing right now, which is our Keller Pils, our Libertyville Lager, or our dry hopped Italian Pils, which we have on tap right now, which is basically a Pilsner malt base with just a touch of Vienna and some carafoam for body and head retention. So that's what we're doing. Feature the RAR North Star Pils. It's going to be a very blank canvas. People want to do. We'll hop it with a little bit of German Magnum just to balance out the bitterness to about 20 IBUs. People can do you can do a Pilsner with it, or you can take another direction. I mean, you can do one, cold IPA or just a classic IPA with it. A hazy IPA with it. We haven't had anybody asked to do this or consider doing this, but theoretically, I mean, someone could even reboil the wort, if they wanted to, and do some Whirlpool additions.
And that's always kind of the fun thing with the wort rallies, what people do with it and how different things are.
Yep. So, it'd make a good base for a Belgian yeast. Do something with that. You can kind of turn it into a triple-like beer. There's a lot of directions you can go with it. You could find a way to adjunct it, too. We'll see what people do with that. It's always fun seeing the different ideas people spin out of it. So.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Jason.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Again, Wort Rally is January 30th. Mark your calendars, pre-register, because I do anticipate that we'll probably sell out again if you want to do this. Easiest beer you ever make, because they do all the work. Also, remember 12 Days of Christmas. We have. I'm only going to go live one more time. That's Christmas Eve when I'm going to announce the winner. So get off app. Check out all those products we've listed. Share them, tag them, whichever. Get your name entered as many times as you can. We've had a lot of people doing a lot of great things with those. Check out Santa's Magic.
Yeah, come in and get it while we can, and obviously the collab table and
a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, everyone have a good holiday. Cheers.
Thanks, guys. We'll tune in soon. Bye.